Kia ora, and a warm welcome to the University of Otago Coursework Master Degrees webinar for international students. My name is Megan.
Hi, I'm kia ora. My name's Sarah and I'm in the International Marketing and Recruitment team.
We are really thrilled to have you join us today live or watching this recording. We are also very excited because we have three fantastic academic staff from the University of Otago joining us today.
Kia ora, I'm Leah Watkins and I'm the Associate Dean International for the Business School, and I'm also Associate Professor in the Department of Marketing.
Kia ora, my name is Miranda Morosa. I am a Professor and Head of Department of Food Science.
Kia ora, my name's Dr. Rosie Overell. I'm the Master of Arts Coursework Coordinator in the Humanities, and I'm also a Senior Lecturer in Media, Film and Communication.
Fantastic. Well, before we move into the webinar content, it's really exciting for us to let you know about the University of Otago's new brand. As of the 1st of May, we are delighted to introduce you to our new brand, the first time the university has made any significant change to its brand in over 155 years. And as you can see from our new logo here, our name remains the same, University of Otago, but we're thrilled to have a beautiful new Māori name, Otago Whakaihuwaka, which has a metaphorical meaning of a place of many firsts, which of course is a nod to the fact we are indeed the first university of New Zealand. But in fact, Otago, our area of New Zealand, is the first for many things. And you see here the beautiful new gold tohu or symbol. And this icon absolutely is special to us and our region. It reflects the two-way current of our Otago or Otago Harbour, which has been a wonderful place of exchange of knowledge, two-way coming in and out of our area, as well as students and others in and out of our part of the country. So we're really excited to welcome you to Otago Whakaihuwaka, the University of Otago. All right, we have a large agenda to get through today, and we're going to hop straight in by kicking off with welcoming you to New Zealand and a bit about Dunedin. So New Zealand, or Aotearoa, our Māori name, we are 5 million people. We have 3 official languages, English, of course, Te Reo Māori, our Indigenous language, and New Zealand Sign Language. In terms of our country and profile, we're ranked pretty highly among a number of global indicators, including the fact we're the 3rd least corrupt country in the world, the 4th safest country in the world. We're very good at gender equality. We're prosperous. 11th happiest, Sarah.
That's us.
It's always good. And we're doing pretty well in the sustainability competitiveness rankings as well. Something that's special to New Zealand, and you won't find it anywhere else, is indeed our Māori culture, our Indigenous people, and something that we really embrace are the Māori principles of manaakitanga. And this is referring to hospitality, kindness, generosity and support, and it's something we value and something we love to share with international students. Now, when you consider studying in New Zealand, you have some great options. All 8 universities in New Zealand are ranked in the top 2% in the world. We are considered the #1 English-speaking country for preparing students for the future, which of course is what it's all about. We have world-class education. We certainly focus on ideas of critical thinking, hands-on learning, working collaboratively, problem solving and creativity. And indeed, problem solving is something we're especially good at training people in. New Zealand is considered the 2nd best country in the world for producing graduates with problem solving skills. There's great research opportunities in our country, and New Zealand was the first country in the world to adopt a special code of practice to ensure that we look after international students. So, Sarah, you want to join in with where are we?
I would love to. So we are located in the beautiful harbour and also coastal city of Otapoti, Dunedin. So again, you can see the reflection of our new tohu, our symbol. This is the Otago harbour that sits in front of you, and a very special part of the world. So how would you get to us if you're coming from anywhere, whether it's Australia or Asia or Europe or the US or Africa? You would probably enter through our 2 main ports, which would be Auckland or Christchurch. Sometimes you can come through Wellington, through Australia, and there's also Queenstown if you're coming from Australia. But from the two main ports, it's a small flight down to our beautiful part of the country. So why would you think about coming to Dunedin? You may recognise my accent, not originally from here, migrated in 1999 and incredibly proud to promote New Zealand and also our beautiful city. We are very much a student city. We have been for the last 155 years. It's what makes our city vibe amazing. We have a population of 131,000, and as you can see, 25,000 of those are students. So you are going to be in a vibrant student city where learning is key. We love it. We're all proof of that. This is why we're in the room, and we hope you would love it too. As well as you are going to learn from the brightest, because we do have the highest concentration of postgraduate qualifications in Aotearoa, New Zealand. We're also, being as a smaller city, we're more affordable than the key cities. So a great selection of accommodation that you can choose from. And why we love it so much, we have a fantastic lifestyle. It is so easy to get around our city, 10 to 15 minutes, no big traffic jams like a lot of some of the larger cities and we get to visit in the world, and a fantastic mix of everything from nature, culture, sport. Key difference of New Zealand in comparison to maybe a few of you dialing in today from other parts of the world is we have 4 real distinct seasons and changeable weather. So we have a beautiful spring, a summer, an autumn, and we are just about to move into winter, which I'm going to touch on now. So originally being from Scotland, you will see snow in that photograph. It only snows maybe 1, 2, 3 times a winter as we are coastal. Cause of great excitement because most of our students who study with us may not have seen snow before, so everybody gets excited. It's usually gone by lunchtime. Sadly, we'd love to have more snowball fights, but in comparison to, say, in North America, Canada, or Europe, where I'm from, it isn't that cold. So as you know, we're a student city. I talked about us being very easy to get around. As you can see in this image here, to the right-hand side is where the university and campus is, and it is a 15 to 20-minute drive to our beautiful city beach. Peak traffic, that might hit 25 minutes, so you can see how easy it is to get around. Bit of our vibrant city life, because we have so many students here from all over the world, as well as from all over New Zealand and also Australia. And you can see chat time there for all of our Asian students dialing in. You'll be happy to know bubble tea in the city and on campus. Huge range of selection of eateries, retail, etc. So there's something in our small city. But we also are on the doorstep to some of the most beautiful landscapes, I have to say, in the world. Queenstown, 3.5 hours away. We've got a phenomenal harbour cycle path now. Amazing scenery you can get to explore. If you enjoy the outdoors or you've never seen snow, try some skiing or snowboarding 3.5 hours away. Get out kayaking. And you can also do some mountain hiking, or I could introduce you to our first word, tramping, which is hiking in New Zealand. So it's 3.5 hour drive away to these phenomenal places, a great place to rest and relax.
And Sarah, hot off the press, New Zealand has just been voted as the most beautiful country in the world by one of the major travel
Rough Guide,
rankings, the
happened
Rough Guide.
yesterday.
There we go, hot off the press just for you. Okay, let's now talk about a little bit more about the University of Otago and why you may wish to consider us for studies. So we are indeed New Zealand's first and oldest university. We're ranked in the top 1% of universities worldwide. And here at Otago, you can genuinely be taught by some of the top teaching academics in the country, as well as experience in a university that's been ranked as New Zealand's top institute for educational performance. We have around 21,000 students, over 2,500 international students coming from over 90 countries, which is a great diversity. And we have a huge, extensive range of study options for you. What's really important are graduate outcomes, and Otago ranks very well here. 95% of graduates go directly into employment or further study. We're ranked also, have the 5-star seal of approval from QS. What's special about Otago is we're the only truly residential university in the country, frankly, across Oceania. 86% of our students are not actually from the city of Dunedin. So they move from all around New Zealand, from Auckland and Wellington, etc. Everyone's moving to study at Otago, as well as from across the globe. It's a very special campus, something you won't find anywhere else, with a mixture of new students. No one knows anyone. We're all new to the city, and we create an environment to support that. We have over 150, I think it's 170 clubs and societies, very high student satisfaction, and a great campus environment where you feel safe, secure, and supported. One of my favourite rankings is that we are considered the 5th most beautiful campus in the whole world, which was quite an exciting ranking. But whatever, the point is this campus is stunning. There is nothing like it in the country. You really will feel that you're somewhere special when you arrive here. Now, speaking of rankings, academic rankings are important for many of us in considering different study destinations. At Otago, we are proud to have a number of subject areas ranked extremely highly in the world. And in fact, we're the only New Zealand university with a subject ranked in the top 20 in the world. That is our sports-related sciences, ranked 12th in the world, along with other topics such as dentistry, tourism, anatomy, MBA, fantastic. But as you can see, as we move across the page there, gosh, what a spread and diversity of subjects that reflects the depth and breadth of teaching and academic excellence at Otago.
Okay, so we're going to kick off into coursework master's degrees at Otago. So we just wanted to highlight where we sit and what options are available to you, and when you're looking at NCQA levels. So a postgraduate diploma is 1 year, that's a level 8. And just tying that in with currently what is on offer is a 1-year post-study work visa you would be eligible for. When we look at coursework and taught masters, our master's coursework by research or thesis, or a research thesis master's, that is classed as an NZQA level 9, and that will also mean you're eligible to apply for a 3-year post-study work visa. We aren't delving into PhD today, that will be a future webinar, but just so you know, that's also NZQA level 8 and also eligible for a 3-year post-study work visa.
Brilliant. So let's now dig deeper into the range of coursework masters at Otago. And we're going to kickstart with our business school masters. And you can see here that at Otago, we are double accredited with important accreditation bodies. So you know the quality of our business school. And what's exciting is that, you know, across the world, business masters are always in a high demand. And at Otago, we're delighted to offer you 9 specialised subjects for your business career pathway. So here you can see a quick summary to the right across a range of business specialisations. Now, what's special about Otago's business suite of masters are that you can take these as a 100% coursework taught master. That means there's no dissertation or project. You can just do fully taught master. And typically this is a 12-month program across the different specialisations. Entry into the business taught masters, very straightforward. In the main, a bachelor's degree of any discipline for many. There are a few that have a requirement of some prior relevant study. And we're going to kick through and just touch on each of these briefly. So certainly 2 very strong programs are our Masters in Accounting and Finance and our Masters in Finance. These have excellent accreditation recognition and CFA recognition. For both programs, you do need a bachelor's degree that has a science or quantitative focus in that background just to be able to confidently succeed in the core accounting and finance papers. And there is no need for a supervisor. It's a direct application if you meet these requirements.
And just for a second, we had the Bloomberg Labs.
You're right.
In the photograph there. Largest in the country, so great hands-on learning experience there as well, and always nice to see students getting involved in that.
Excellent. Moving on, we have economics, another specialist program where we do require a bachelor's degree that has got an econometrics or mathematical economics type of a background. But again, gosh, what a strong program with excellent graduate outcomes with a number of New Zealand and international employers. Now, our 12-month International Business Master, perfect for those of you with a very clear ambition to work internationally in the business sector. This is open to any prior degree. It does not need to be a business degree, so long as you have a B average, you're able to join this super program. Marketing, gosh, another excellent example. Very talented academics in this department, if I may say so, knowing one of them is in the room next to me. And again, this targeted and specialised business program is open to all prior bachelor degrees. This is perfect for those of you looking to upskill your career and delve into a professional world of marketing. Now, tourism. Here we have an excellent example of a highly top-ranked academic department in the world, ranked 23rd best in the world for tourism by the Shanghai rankings and about 42 or 43 in the QS rankings. If tourism is an interest area for you, you couldn't pick a better place to study. Not only is the academic program extremely strong and setting you up for a professional career, but you have one of the world's most
amazing resort.
premium touristic destinations, and actually the industry is really crying out for tourism experts. Okay, we move into a new specialisation for our business master in philosophy, politics and economics. Now, this is a really unique and special major, and it's actually the only such course in New Zealand and one of only a handful in Oceania. So this one, you do need a wee bit of a prior background in your bachelor degree in either politics or philosophy or economics. But gosh, what an excellent degree that you can apply across a range of areas. We are also excited to announce our new Entrepreneurship and Innovation Specialised Masters Program. Sarah, you have a bit to say on entrepreneurship in the city.
The city is absolutely phenomenal for startups. There is so much that goes from the university and ends up being created into a business. And there's excellent support out with the university as well. So if entrepreneurship is of interest to you, you couldn't pick a better place. And New Zealand as a whole, incredibly entrepreneurial country, and you'll get exposure to that throughout your time here.
And again, open to any prior degree, which it makes this a very accessible program. Now, likewise, management is a classic avenue for many people, no matter what your prior degree was. What's special at Otago is we have a new, enhanced and excellent specialisation in leadership and management. We're seeking to train not just managers, but actual leaders. And that's absolutely desirable and needed in industry across any part of the world. So this again, 12 months, open to any prior degree, looking for a B average in your bachelor degree. What a superb program. Master of Business Data Science, wow, high demand employment for this area. Data is everything in every sector. And this program is very strong and has a wonderful track record. Now, it is open to most academic prior bachelor degrees, but they do look now to have just a wee bit of even just one semester course in your background covering computer programming and statistics, just to really enhance your experience and success in this particular program. But far out, employment for this area is in high demand, not only in New Zealand, but globally. And we just love our Master of Sustainable Business. Now, this is a really specialised program. It's unique in New Zealand and it's globally recognised. And this is open to all prior bachelors. Excellent option for those of you passionate about sustainability, but wanting to take your career a little bit more into a business focus or be able to be a driver of sustainability initiatives in a variety of sectors. And for sure, graduate outcomes of this program, very strong. And New Zealand is constantly directly employing sustainability experts for a range of sectors too. Okay, now the MBA, often sought after, and at Otago for many good reasons. Our online MBA is actually ranked #1 in New Zealand and 26th best for an online MBA in the world. But even more exciting, you can study it here on our campus in Dunedin. Really well structured, very successful program. A few special requirements, some 3 years prior professional experience. and a few special application processes. But man, what a great program to consider for those seeking an MBA. Oh, now that was an exciting range of business programs, and I'd like to open the floor up to Leah, our Associate Dean International from the Business School. Leah, something you'd like to add in regards to your range of business masters?
Sure. I think the real strength of the business school is our close connections to the business community. So we really make the most of those connections to ensure that our research and teaching are both really current to the local business environment. We also have passionate and active research staff, so we're actually the top business school for research in New Zealand. And as Megan mentioned, a number of our individual programs are also globally ranked. Our graduates are also sought after by industry, so 96% of our graduates go directly into the workforce or further study. And we create lots of opportunities for students and businesses to interact. So, for example, it might be through case study competitions, through industry-based research projects, and through connections to the local startup and entrepreneurial sector that was mentioned.
Brilliant. Thanks, Leah. Okay, we're going to move track into health sciences and our excellent coursework masters that are offered from here. Now, the Master of Public Health at Otago, our public health academics are certainly world leading. Indeed, we have some superb epidemiologists very involved in the COVID response and government advising, of course, from those days. Let's just move along from there a little bit, but still highly active in public policy and health promotion. And we have a superb 2-year public health master. What's new for us is you can now apply directly into the 2-year master program. Admission requirement is any prior bachelor degree in the main and with a B average. Now, there are very good employment opportunities for public health specialists. And again, it's hard to find a better place in New Zealand to consider studying public health. Now, whilst we do have campuses in Dunedin, Christchurch and Wellington in which we teach public health, for a new international student joining us, we strongly encourage you to join us on the Dunedin campus to gain a full spectrum of support and to set you up for success. But certainly, this is a strong 2-year public health master.
And I think one thing we to mention onto our public health is that we are one of 2 medical schools in the country. So you really are getting taught by the best of the best. So we cover, as Megan mentioned, within medicine, from Wellington, Christchurch down to Dunedin, and Dunedin being the core of where our student support is.
Absolutely. Now, another very exciting program is our Master of Nursing Science. Now, this is taught in our Christchurch campus and only at our Christchurch campus. What's exciting about this program is it's not designed for someone already with a nursing background. It's actually a professional opportunity for those with a different type of bachelor degree from any area looking to move into nursing. You've discovered a new passion, you want to make an impact, and this 2-year program, very intense, clinically focused. It's your pathway to be a registered nurse in New Zealand. This program is also accredited not only in New Zealand, but in the United States, and it is taught from one of the world's top 100 nursing departments in our Christchurch campus. So you have a real mix of lectures, clinical skills development, simulation labs, as well as clinical placements. Huge demand for nursing pretty much around the whole world, but specifically in New Zealand. So this program sets you up very well. Now, there are limited places in this program connected to the clinical placements, and this program does have an earlier application deadline than some other programs, so please be aware of that, but a great program. Now, for those of you who already have a health academic background and may indeed be working professionally, we do have a 2-year Master of Health Science in which you can specialise or further enhance your particular passion and area of expertise. A range of specialisations listed below. But as Sarah said, Otago is very much home to health sciences for the country, so really excellent opportunities there.
Okay, moving into sciences. So as you can see from our university, 2 amazing divisions, and we're going to move into 2 more. So Master of Science, this predominantly is a 2-year program. This is where you would have coursework in year 1, and then you would either do a thesis or a research project in year 2. If you've already completed an honours or a PG dip, then there could potentially be the thesis option available for you as well. From this, you can progress into either PhD, research, or industry. So we have a huge range of study options available in our Master of Science. All of them, again, you are taught by world-leading academic staff, and I cannot highlight that enough. And we're lucky enough to be amongst it, and sometimes we forget how fantastic they are and how much research they do, not just within New Zealand, but also globally. So most endorsements will be available in either semester 1, which is February, or a July intake. Again, into admission, we're looking at the equivalent of a B or 70% and above qualifications or experience. So you will have to have a related field in this in your undergraduate study to continue on into your master's. And for most departments, supervision will be required before applying. So please, if you've seen something on the screen that catches your eye, go onto our departmental website and they will tell you how you can apply for the Master of Science and how to go about getting that supervision. So check that out on our website. Okay, so now we're going to talk about our Master of Applied Science. So these are more of a top coursework masters, anything between 12 to 18 months in duration, again, dependent on subject. So you can see the endorsements that we have and also a very strong range. And a lot of those programs are again in those really high demand areas within New Zealand at the moment. So this is very much looking, if you're looking to upskill for a better career path, if you would prefer to go onto that academic side and you're looking at PhD, then you'd be looking at a research-based project. So again, majority of these are available semester 1, which is our February start again, and just a reminder, semester 2 is July. Also B and above. Some of those will accept alternative qualifications and experience as well. And as we are lucky enough to have Miranda in the room with us today from Food Science, we're going to touch a little bit on that later on because it's further down the track. But she is one of those programs you can come from a different background. So touching on probably one of the questions, I am fortunate enough to travel to parts of the world, and maybe I've met with some of you in market, artificial intelligence. And it's everywhere. It doesn't matter what area you're wanting to move into. This, again, is a very high demand global one. You can start this either both semesters. You do not necessarily have to have a background in AI if you're looking for a July start. You've got 3 different outcomes on this, whether you want to take a project to commercialization, you do independent study, or a work-based project. Software engineering, again, very high demand for this globally. Same sort of 3 pathways that you can choose on this. And again, it would be a B coming into that one. Moving on into computer science, again, lots of different topics that you can focus on here. We know students coming into this, you will look at, preferably, it's great if you do have practical experience, if you don't have a relevant bachelor's degree. So again, this will be assessed on your application. Now, we've touched on being very strong in health sciences. Bioengineering is one of the top 5 global in New Zealand for innovation potential in biotechnology. It's our biggest growth field in the tech sector, is health tech. So this is where this program is excellent. Lots of amazing focus on biomaterials, nanomedicine and diagnostic. Again, options for coursework into supervised independent study, and you need a B average to get into that. But not so within that sort of health science space is our advanced nutrition practice, looking for students who wanted to develop those nutrition skills. You've got a compulsory practice-based project in this program with the public health organisation. So you can see where a lot of our degrees cross science into health science, or can be multi-divisional as well. And that is also the beauty of Otago, because you're getting academic staff from multidisciplines feeding into so many different fantastic areas. Again, looking at a B and background, human nutrition, sport, exercise, nutrition, or a related health field. Environmental management. This, again, great career opportunities in New Zealand, but also globally. We know the world is changing. This is a fantastic way that you can make a difference. So looking at environmental management, again, gives you the focus areas, and it's a B or 70% into for admission. Preferably relevant practical experience can also be considered if you do not have a relevant bachelor degree. So again, excellent career outcomes with this degree. And now we're talking about food science. So the Master of Applied Science in Food and Agriculture. This is a huge and a very exciting new program for us. Food is a big part of, again, what the world needs and how do we feed our population and all the different parts that can be part of that. So, and we also have a Master of Science in Food Science. So I'm going to pass over to the expert now, who can talk a little bit more about why that is so awesome to study at Otago.
Yeah, thank you. So we've got a really strong academic program, and it's taught by some of the real leaders in this field. It's quite a holistic program, as the name implies. So we really take this sort of farm to fork approach, which means it's an interdisciplinary program. We've got a really strong focus on future foods, on sustainability. It's relatively small cohorts of students, which is fantastic because we can sort of get in and do lots of practical hands-on learning, lots of field trips. We use what we call a flipped learning technique. So we deliver content before class and then come into class, and it's really interactive, and it's quite a global program. Food is global, and our students, sort of student cohort reflects that. So we've got students from all over the world studying with us, which brings great diversity. And there are jobs. There are so many jobs. There is a national shortage of food scientists and a global shortage of food scientists. So our graduates are snapped up often before they graduate, and our staff are really sort of well connected with industry and are able to sort of help facilitate this move into employment. So it's not just sort of great jobs with good pay, but it's, you sort of alluded to, food is really important, and a lot of the sort of issues that we're facing, these big global issues of our time, and climate change and obesity and things like this, coming through our programs and going out into work in these sectors is a really good way to be able to sort of make an impact to some of these big issues that we face.
Fantastic, thank you. I think I need to study food science.
Yeah, I feel like
Okay, and coming up, we also have molecular biotechnology. Again, taught by world-class academics. This is very much designed for students who've got an interest in genetics, biochem, microbiology. How do we create new treatments for diseases? Looking at genetic traits. Or you could be looking at solving crimes through forensic techniques. So again, a really fantastic opportunity to make an impact. And we also have our plant biotechnology as well. So great. Oh, and there's more.
Sorry.
Quantitative genetics. We're moving on. So many. So quantitative genetics, 12 to 18-month program. Again, great career opportunities due to shortage of workers. And I know we are seeing increasing demand in our bachelor's programs moving into genetics too. So great to see that word getting out there. And
another top department here,
another
Sarah.
top department, 12th in the world. And if any of you who are online today know New Zealand loves sport, and we're a big sporting nation, we have a phenomenal Master of Sport and Development Management. It is the only sport and development management program in New Zealand. The facilities here are world class, and I cannot emphasize that enough. And we're lucky enough to, we have a flume. If any of you are aware what a flume is, if not, Google it, look it up on our website where conditions can be recreated. And we have access to great sporting companies as well as organizations. So again, great one to consider. And you have a compulsory practicum where you're out there in industry among those organizations getting exposure to New Zealand sport.
And this is a great program for social science backgrounds in particular too. So really extensive range. Gosh, a couple more to go, Sarah.
Well, you saw penguins on our slides about Dunedin, personal favourite of mine, so I can't go past the Master of Wildlife Management. Anybody who enjoys the outdoors and helping nature, this is phenomenal. As you saw, we are a base to get out and explore some of the most beautiful parts of the world, whether it's from fjords to rainforests, or looking at landscapes modified by our agricultural. For this, you do need a bachelor's degree in science, zoology, biology, or ecology, but it is a phenomenal program. And then last but not least, I think on this one is our Master of Surveying. We are the only surveying school in New Zealand. Again, great career opportunities due to a shortage of workers in this. You will require a bachelor's degree of surveying to go into this one, but again, your study options, it's up to date, it's relevant. You're looking at GIS, you're looking at spatial databases and web mapping. Really, really, really good career opportunities in New Zealand and globally.
Wow, science, Sarah.
It's all about science.
I think we're the most science-intensive university in the country. So without doubt, strong academics, strong facilities, and a beautiful place to do sciences. All right, we now shift track into the humanities. And really excited to present or touch on our Master of Arts, a 2-year, 12 to 18 month program. And what's exciting with our Master of Arts at Otago is look at the range of specializations that you can pursue for 25 and onward. And in particular, the fact that we now offer a Master of Arts that's purely coursework, 100% taught. Or there is, of course, the opportunity for coursework with a smaller dissertation. Now, rather than me talking about this, I'm really excited to welcome back into the panel Rosie from the Humanities. Rosie, would you like to share a little more about this opportunity?
Yeah, I'd be delighted, Megan. It's really great to be here. And I just want to emphasise the great thing about humanities is we offer those human skills which are really needed in every industry in the world. This is the idea of perhaps building your criticality, your creativity, and even your communication skills to, I guess, add that kind of nuance to many jobs and careers. So the Master of Arts Humanities, as you can see there in the yellow box, covers a real range of disciplines from both the arts or humanities as well as the social sciences. The great thing about the Master of Arts coursework is its breadth and interdisciplinarity. There's a diverse and energetic intellectual environment with lots of international students. And you can really, you can do this, the breadth of the degree, but also you get the chance to specialise, particularly if you pick the dissertation option. So you could pick to do your dissertation in politics, philosophy, media or comms, or any of those options there. We also have a really lively humanities internship program, which can lead to, or definitely skills you up with those hands-on experiences, building capacity for employment in industries such as the creative industries, which is things like advertising, journalism and film, the film production industry, as well as galleries, libraries and museums, and of course the public service. So that's a really exciting thing as well. But I did just want to echo that we've got this new option for 2025, which is the 100% taught only pathway as well.
And that's been a lot of demand for people in that space. So really exciting. And again, look at that range of specializations for you. Thanks, Rosie. Okay, now we also have additional humanities coursework master options, including our very popular 1-year Master of Teaching and Learning. This is a teaching degree. For those of you with a bachelor degree, you're able to upskill, gain a teaching degree that leads to registration in New Zealand. Man, our College of Education is strong. It is our College of Education that has developed curriculum used worldwide. They really know their stuff, and boy, do they train teachers very well. They really take great care of you, and they welcome international students into this program. There are limited places in the program, so it's important you apply during the application period that has opened and will shut at the end of July. But gosh, if you get into this program, there is a need for teachers. We have a shortage, particularly at the secondary school level, and I can really strongly assure you that our College of Education really look after you as an international student and give you a great experience that will set you up for teaching in New Zealand. We also have a Super Master of Social and Community Work. It's an applied program. It takes about between 12 to 18 months. Now for this, you should of course have a bachelor degree in a relevant field. And this indeed does allow you to gain registration to work as a social worker in New Zealand as well. But please also note the higher English language requirement for entry into this particular program. We move into our Masters of International Development and Planning. Really fascinating area and open to students from a range of bachelor degree prior backgrounds. Interdisciplinary program here, and only 12 months as well. We also have a Master of Planning. That's a 2-year program. It is accredited by the New Zealand Planning Institute. And this one is due to open up for applications a little later this year. It's not quite open at the moment, and there are limited spaces. But just comparing back to the Master of International Development and Planning, this is open to all prior backgrounds and a really fabulous program. For those with an interest in Indigenous studies, we have a very well recognised master program in this space. And of course, increasingly, not only in New Zealand, but globally, there's significant value and importance in students with qualifications and being able to lead in this space. So another top program. We have our Master of International Studies, open again to all prior bachelor degrees, and actually taught interdisciplinary with academics from politics, from economics, from international law, and indeed peace and conflict studies too. So that's a cracker program, again, open to all prior bachelor degrees. Now, Otago has a long and proud history of peace and conflict. In fact, we've had the National Peace and Conflict Research expertise here at Otago, and we're delighted to offer you the Master of Peace and Conflict Studies for 25. It is due to open up for applications a little later this year. What's exciting about Otago's program is it takes the lens and perspective of both not only international but Indigenous approaches into addressing peace and conflict issues. Really excellent and exciting area, and some super academic research. Super researchers doing great work there. Master of Politics. We have some fabulous academics, and I now, of course, I've just forgotten the name as I look at you, but often called upon to comment on global issues.
I always think of Robert Patman.
Thank you very much. Listen to him on the radio often, but a wonderful program for those of you who do have more of a politics or related background to progress and challenge yourself into the master level. Really great. All right. That's a lot of programs we've covered today, and some of you might be feeling overwhelmed and some of you might be going, holy moly, there's so many cool opportunities, and it's helpful to know which programs are actually open to you no matter which bachelor degree you have done. It's a chance for you to switch career track or to move your prior studies into a different area or expertise and develop your career. So just highlighting a large number of those business masters were open to any prior degree, giving you that opportunity to upskill and move into the business world. Also a number of other programs from health sciences and indeed in the humanities, social sciences space. And actually sports to some extent as well. So some great options at Otago. So, that was a lot of content.
It was a lot of content. I think for us, it just shows you the depth that we have here across all of our divisions. All amazing master's programs and a great choice to choose. But I think now we need to talk to the academics who can give us some more detail of what it's actually like to study here. So we're going to have it as an open panel. So let's kick off with academic expectations. What would you like to see? And let's start with business. What would you like to see from a student coming into Otago?
I think what we like to see is students that bring their own knowledge, their own backgrounds. So the classrooms at master's level are quite small, so between 15 and 25 students. So it really is very interactive. It's usually a sort of 2-hour workshop style. So yeah, we love the international students and the different perspectives that they bring.
Fantastic. On to humanities.
Yeah, very much similar format. We often have, it's mostly seminar style learning. And again, yes, the breadth of your experiences and lives is really key here. Perhaps you want to, I'm supervising a thesis at the moment about Chinese cinema and audiences on Hupu. So we've got, this is really interesting stuff you can bring your expertise and specialise in. And again, they're very small class sizes as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I know, Miranda, you've already touched on having quite a large international cohort who comes into doing food science. What's the zhuzh there?
Well, I think that the panelists have sort of have mentioned that, we really respect and value the experiences and knowledge that you bring to our programs and the sort of the flavour that provides. And it's a mix of both. We also have obviously domestic students in our program, and just the interaction and particularly our subject area is food is an awesome way to share those sort of cultural experiences. And so there's a lot of food involved in our program, food and wine and beer and
Now, we're all pretty relaxed together, but how is it for the student? Is it first name basis? Is it super formal? Can you just rock on up and speak to an academic? How does it work?
So New Zealanders or Kiwis, as we're often called, are really friendly, and I think we've got quite a sort of flat social structure, and so absolutely, my students call me by my first name. In fact, we share a tea room. Our staff and our postgrad students all share a tea room with fantastic coffee machine, and we sit together and socialise both in morning teas and occasionally after work as well. We're known to go and have a drink with students. So we've got a lovely dynamic and just a really cool culture, yeah.
It's nice. And what about the balance of seminars or lectures and so forth versus self-study? What's that kind of ratio looking like?
In humanities, we do expect quite a bit of resilient independent study. So that's probably reading and taking notes and things like that. But also we have the small seminars is the main way that you'll be taught. And of course, if you're doing a dissertation, you get one-on-one supervision with an expert in the area who will really guide you through putting together that dissertation thesis.
Nice. What about teaching assistant jobs? That often comes up. Students curious to know if there's an opportunity to pick up some part-time work, which is if it's permitted on their visa, in order to just support those funds a bit and or get a bit of experience. How does that look for you, Leah?
Yeah, for us, we definitely do have some of our postgraduate students lecturing at the undergraduate level, and that works really well. It's nice to have that similar age group and again, bringing those different cultural perspectives. So yes, we do have that opportunity.
Fantastic.
Yeah, likewise, there's potential for teaching into the undergraduate programs. Yep.
Great.
Yeah, particularly in tutor and demonstrator
Tutoring,
type roles.
Correct.
Great. All right, let's jump into topic 2. There's been a lot of terminology and language used today regarding supervised independent study or projects or dissertations or thesis within some of the coursework masters. Can we get some panel members to help clarify what is what and which is which?
Right, maybe I can speak to business. So there are 3 options for masters. You can be a fully coursework masters, so that's taught only papers. Or you can do what's called a project. So that is 40 points of independent research. And then the third option is a 60-point dissertation. So you would take this option if you were thinking about the potential for a PhD in the future. So it's just that larger independent piece of research.
In humanities, it's similar, although we don't have. We've just got the fully taught version that's just been introduced. So you would do a number of 30-point coursework subjects in your specialisation, but the dissertation is very similar. in that that's a 60-point research project of 20,000 words, which you work on with a supervisor over 12 to 18 months. And this is where you really get to dig into your passion. So we've had topics before, such as people looking at war widows from World War II, or as I said, Chinese film industry, geography issues and sustainability, and you get to sort of do perhaps a case study where you really do that independent research, again, one-on-one, guided by your supervisor as well.
Yeah, and for us, our projects are either a research project supervised, like you've just explained, or an internship with industry. So there's sort of the two options, and you can choose which you prefer depending on what you're interested in and how you want to tailor your degree.
All right.
Okay, actually, we just had a question come through from one of our webinar participants, which is relevant to what we're talking about. So I just thought we'd quickly ask. So this is about coursework masters today, but they're thinking, do they do a coursework masters or do they do a research masters? And what does that mean in terms of career opportunities and potentially salary? So yeah.
For us, it partly depends on which option you would choose would depend on what you were coming in with, so which qualification you had. So because ours is our taught master is a flexible degree, it's open to anyone with any undergraduate degree. So if you didn't have an undergraduate degree in food or agriculture, that would be the only option available to you. If you did have an undergraduate degree in one of those fields, then the research masters would be an option. And in terms of for us, a taught master's is 1 year, and a research master's is a 2-year program, so it is a longer sort of commitment. In terms of career outcomes, it's quite hard to comment on in sort of general terms. Obviously, if you're wanting to pursue a career in research perhaps in a government agency or a research institute, or if you wanted to go on and stay in academia in a research-related role, then the research route would be the most appropriate choice for you. It's also possible to sort of give both a go. You can do the taught masters for 12 months, and then you can progress on and do a 1-year research masters following that. So there's lots of options, and in fact you can, it's not our sort of default route, but you can go from our taught masters if you do from our taught masters, if you do a research project, if you select that option and you do well in that, there is the opportunity to carry on and to do a PhD as well. So that was quite a complicated answer. I think the key point is if you're welcome to contact our department. We can, at any of the departments, and we can talk you through these, through the different options. We've got lots of flexibility to really build a program to tailor what it is that you're interested in.
Fantastic.
Brilliant. Now, application process is always a big important question for people, and that general concept of what's happening at the department, what requirements are there from departments to get into these taught master programs, and I think that varies across the range of programs we've talked about today. Rosie, do you want to comment for?
For the, if you choose the MA Master of Arts coursework taught only pathway, you can simply apply through the application system and choose your specialisation. If you're pursuing a Master of Arts coursework where you want to do the 20,000 word research dissertation with a supervisor, you need to email a potential supervisor in the program first. So what you should do there is check out the program website, say the sociology website, and look at those experts and researchers in the field and find out who best would suit your dissertation topic. I also do have some alumni destinations on the question of jobs. I'm not sure of their salary, but we've, just to that last point, but we've got 100% of our grads have found employment, and many of those are in the public service, either at local or national level in Aotearoa, New Zealand and in Canada, but also in journalism, in magazines like Your Home and Garden, in ITV, which is a free-to-air channel in the UK, and also consulting roles at places like PricewaterhouseCoopers as well. So yeah, there's lots of opportunities for employment.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
very cool.
What about getting into the program at business in terms of requirements from the department, Leah?
So fortunately, it is quite a simple process for the business school. So you can make an application directly, and as we said, for most or for all subjects, that's a B, and usually that's open to any discipline or any background, with a few exceptions, for example, finance and economics. But yes, you can apply directly. Even if you want to do either the project or the dissertation, you don't need to approach a supervisor beforehand. So you can still enter the program, and then we work with you as you're doing your papers to think about your topic and who that might align with in terms of supervision.
Brilliant. And for you, Miranda?
We're the same, really simple. Just apply. Once you're here, then we work out the logistics of supervisors and so forth. So really simple process.
So more broadly speaking, when applying to Otago for a coursework master, the first step is, of course, to double check the entry requirement for the program of interest that you have and any special application deadlines. And secondly, whether or not supervision is a requirement for your application. So it applies to some, particularly some of the sciences, or quite a few of the coursework, the 2-year kind of sciences, a handful of other programs depending on the nature of the structure of the program. But many programs don't require that, and that makes it nice and easy. Then, of course, you'll move on. You'll want to select that program off our website, click apply when it's open, and set up your application in what we call eVision. That's the name of our application and student administration system. And you'll upload all your official documents as required there, and then you'll submit that application. And we always highlight this part because it's easy to put everything in and then just kind of not ever click submit, and then it's just sitting there and no one's ever going to see it. So make sure you click submit, and that will fire off into the admissions department, who will then be able to assess, and in many cases assess and make an offer directly, and in some cases assessed for eligibility, and then head out to the department for a final approval and back again. Now, it's worth noting New Zealand's academic year, a little bit different depending on where you are based today. So semester 1 is our main academic start of the year. This is February, and you get a sense for when you should be arriving to start studies. We have a small mid-year break around late June after exams, and then we kick on into semester 2, which is July. And so for New Zealand, semester 1, February is summer, and semester 2 is kind of our wintry days. The snowman's a bit misleading. It's really not possible to make a snowman in most cases. We just pop that one in for fun. So some key dates for you to make a note of. The main application round for all studies starting in February next year is actually open now for most programs. And in the main, we close around about 15th of November. But as you might have picked up today, a few programs have different application deadlines. And this year, a few programs are opening a little bit later. So we just outline that there. So for instance, we can apply for Masters of Sustainable Business today. Some of our other new master business specializations like leadership and management, we expect that to open up around late June, early July. So the full range of business programs certainly available around that late June, early July. Don't forget the Master of Teaching and Learning shuts 31st of July. Don't be late. Master of Nursing Science open now but shuts in August. Don't be late, limited places. And around about late August, early September, we anticipate Peace and Conflict Studies opening up perhaps for next year. Okay. English requirements, often a hot topic at the postgraduate level. We need a minimum IELTS overall score of 6.5, no band below 6. But there are a couple of programs with a higher requirement, usually connected to registration purposes. So teaching and learning is an example of that, and a couple of others there.
And there are postgraduate English requirements on our website as well.
Now, handy to know, if you don't have that postgraduate English requirement level quite yet, no problem, we can help you with that because we've got a fantastic English language centre where you can study English for Otago for a postgraduate level. 12 weeks, full-time, excellent excellent teaching expertise and fabulous brand new teaching centre, by the way. Actually was just there earlier today. Okay, scholarships, everyone's favourite topic, and we are delighted because Otago has a very generous Vice-Chancellor's International Postgraduate Scholarship. This is exclusive for our full-time coursework masters or postgraduate diplomas for international students, and it's a value of 10,000 New Zealand dollars off your first year of tuition. These are unlimited. So to be considered, as long as you've got a grade average of at least a B+, you've got a pretty decent chance of receiving that scholarship. There's no additional application process for that particular scholarship. It'll be assessed as part of your general admission application. Now, some of you may be in the market for a full scholarship, but you are unable to fund yourself for living costs and full tuition. And there are some options. There is the very prestigious New Zealand Manaaki Scholarship. This is funded by our New Zealand government and it is a full scholarship. Clearly, these are going to be highly competitive, and as such, there is a very specific application period in February each year, so that you can perhaps start to plan and prepare and consider an option for applying next February, which would be for a scholarship that would apply for 26 studies. So just flagging that one. Very generous and prestigious. And maybe there are some other funding opportunities in your country too. Okay, we've talked about academic support, but what about non-academic support? At Otago, we've got a huge, extensive range of services ranging from specialised international student support, visa support, our fantastic disability information and support team, academic sort of student learning and development. Our library services, very strong, specialised librarians across various academic areas.
There's 7 of them and all walking distance, always somewhere to study.
Easy, easy. Now, Otago students love to get involved, and that includes postgraduate students. We've got a lot of wonderful volunteering opportunities. This is a great way to connect with our domestic students outside of the classroom as well. Lots of great things going on there. But a really key topic, particularly when considering postgraduate study, are careers and networking opportunities. We'd love to talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so with career, you've already heard from the academic staff of where career connections come in with academics, but there's a whole host of other ways that you can start your journey if you're looking to continue working in New Zealand on your post-study work visa. Cannot recommend a career development centre highly enough. Anybody who is considering a 12-month master's, please see them early in the start of your time at Otago. They can help you learn about New Zealand, how to write your resume for New Zealand employers. What are New Zealand employers looking for? It can be very different to your home country. So please see them early. We've got a fantastic team there that can help you. And there's a match program. There's a whole load of opportunities there for you. And as we already previously touched on, you can work part-time when you're studying. And again, your most important thing when you come to Otago is your studies. So we always advise that you make sure you balance your study before you start looking for part-time work. You can work full-time during your holidays, and then you've got the eligibility. There is a host of in-demand career opportunities that will align across the spectrum of our master's programs. We've already touched on that, but this is a quick highlight there.
And handy to know, we've got another webinar coming up focused on internship and career opportunities, so that might be a good one to mark in your calendar and join in with. Now, just last couple of quick topics, accommodation and costs. At Otago, for our postgrad students, you are able to apply for our uni flats. This is a very unique student offering. It gives you the chance to co-live with other students and have a true Otago flatting experience. And we do have some options that we try to cater for families if that's a situation, or some individual postgrads, but normally we try to put our coursework taught master students a little bit more together. And of course, there's always a private accommodation option if you wish to explore that too. So in terms of costs, tuition fees absolutely vary depending on the particular program. So a taught masters can range anywhere from around 44,000 New Zealand per year to more toward that 69,000 per year, depending on the specialization, whether there's lab equipment or the specialization, kind of the structure of the program. Cost of living wise, we strongly recommend you plan and prepare for around about 25,000 New Zealand dollars a year. Immigration New Zealand has a requirement, but this is what we recommend to make sure you're comfortable and able to be good here, to go well.
So I know we're pretty much over our 5. I guess one thing just to touch on too, the majority of our accommodation that students will live in, when it's a uniflat, 5 to 15-minute walk to campus, you will have time for your studies and extracurricular activities. And that is the beauty of Otago. Some of our postgraduate students who will be in private accommodation could be a little bit further out. But again, we're a small, compact city. And again, that gives you that time to study, plan, interact with your academic staff. So a great city to be a student in.
I think that's right. And often people think only of big cities, especially when they're considering business. But here's a reality, and that is, why not make life easy while you study in a small, compact, convenient location where everything's walkable, and we have great connections into the entrepreneurial arena, guest lectures coming in from business, and then you can get scooped up and move on to whichever destination you need for your employment. But it's a really beautiful place to come and study.
So we're just going to quickly run through some of the Q&As that came through on our webinar. So thank you to the participants who popped those into the chat box today. It's lovely to know that you're watching and you're curious about studying at Otago. So number 1, I will be studying for my first master's degree at Otago, but this will be my second master's degree. Am I eligible for the Vice-Chancellor International Postgraduate Scholarship?
Certainly my understanding is that you are, so long as you have at least a minimum B+ average in your prior degree. The scholarship is about welcoming and supporting international students to join us in our taught masters full-time studies. So it's my understanding that yes, that would be the case.
So for the academic staff, does a student need to gain work experience before applying for a master's degree, or can they progress immediately from their bachelor?
No previous experience required.
Yeah, correct. Same with humanities, Master of Arts.
Good.
And same for business, except for the MBA, which does require a background in industry.
And if you don't have that, we've got the perfect new Masters in Leadership and Management. Perfect for no experience.
Okay, how to convert my GPA into an Otago B?
That's always a bit tricky, but frankly, don't stress about it because our admissions staff will help with that. So if you're worried about us checking that kind of detail, our admissions staff have the expertise to do that. And in addition, same thing with those scholarships. They assess for your eligibility at the time of assessing your application.
Okay, and then we're just going to finish off with the last one because we are over time. Master's degree in Business Analytics, Professional Accounting Economics. Any of the course available in the next intake?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
All 3. And indeed, certainly by late June, early July, good to apply for all 3 of them. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, we welcome your application. Okay, thank you very much. Just highlighting, feel welcome to reach out and connect with some of our current international students who are on our UniBuddy chat platform. They are real students, they are live people, they are not robots. And indeed, accordingly, they can't always answer you directly because they might be at class, but they're very happy to share their experience of what it is to study here. Also, if you are not already, please follow us on our international Instagram account. This has got great content. It's mostly made by our international students, but it's a really cool way to get to know what's happening. Special shout out to the red doctoral picture just above. That's Rakesh, isn't it?
I think so.
It's our dear friend Rakesh. Congratulations on your graduation ceremony happening tomorrow. And we welcome you to the University of Otago, Otago Whakaihu Waka, and our new brand as well. We welcome you to join us for February next year. And thank you for joining us today.